In this video today, I'm actually going to be reviewing this foundation here from NYX, along with reviewing it with this palette as well. I actually kind of have my eye on this palette here from Becca. So let's just go ahead and jump into the video, and yeah. So I'm going to start off with spraying this toner on my face first, and then moisturize and then go from there. And I'm going to do it two different kinds of ways, because I've already tested this foundation out already, and I have not used a matte foundation in so long that it literally, yeah. When you go to using dewy foundations and then you try to switch back doing matte, it feels, I don't want to say unnatural, but I can definitely see it sitting over my skin. Not in a terrible bad way, it's just my personal preference. If personally you don't like the foundation look that's sitting over your face, you may not like this foundation. So I want to see how I can play with it and work it, because I don't want it that matte. I just don't. I'm going to be moisturizing with this, with aloe vera as usual. Honestly, with the oil, I usually like to mix the oil with the aloe vera. So I think I might just do this half and then do it again. And I'm just going to do my little mixture concoction that I have of castor oil, jojoba oil, and a little bit of vitamin E oil mixed with aloe vera. And let this dry down. Anyway, this is the foundation here that I got from NYX in Caramel. The Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Now, the one thing I would say from looking at their display is the colors are pretty warm for most of the colors that I was looking at within my shade range. So one of the things that I had to look at, since there was nothing for me to really swatch, was to actually see which one looked more olive versus too yellow, or too orange or whatever. I think everything was just a more too yellow, was more on that scale versus the orangey scale. And for what I noticed, for what I thought would work for me. So I ended up going with this because I felt like this definitely had more of an olive undertone. And I feel like, honestly, that's probably more of my skin tone. And this stuff is pretty thick. So let's start off with one pump and see where we go from there. I think I'm gonna go for the brush side for this one. And for the aloe vera side, I'm just gonna go with that one there. And smell wise, it does have a faint smell on it, but it's not anything that smells pretty. I hope that makes sense. All right, and then I'm gonna be using this brush here from Eco Tools. This is their bronzer dome brush, I believe. All right, and then just a little something about this foundation. It's supposed to be a full coverage foundation. Let's see if it says anything else about it. No, that's it. Do we get anything else? I'm gonna have to look it up and tell you what else it says it is, besides just being a full coverage foundation. It does say shake before use, but this is pretty thick. I'm not sure how they're expecting you to shake before use. Anyway, the one thing I'll say about this foundation from using it the other day is I want to say it's literally a perfect match. I don't think I have worn a perfect match foundation in a while. I mean, literally, like, it's literally perfect. It's a perfect color. The only thing is matte, and I'm not exactly feeling it, but let's try one more pump on it. And it's not because I want to wear it heavy. I'm definitely not a heavy foundation wearer, but I do want to try buffing again. Ooh, This is weird. It's like, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like, it's clinging and it's looking pretty textured there. Let's take this off. Yeah, I don't feel like that looks good with this. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't go well with the oil. I don't know. All right, and I'm actually going to be taking some of this right here. This is the Embryolisse. It's a moisturizer. I'm gonna try that instead and see how that behaves. Really want to give this a fair shot. Yeah. So I would definitely say no to oil. Yeah. No, I'm just not. And that maybe no to oil with the brush. I mean, because I stapled it on initially, so I don't understand why that would even cause any issues. But of course, buffing it in, it just did its own thing. Yeah. I'm gonna use a different brush. All right, let's try this again. And this probably wasn't the best solution, but I've used this before. And this probably, of course, took off a whole lot. Maybe this wasn't the right one to use. Let's try this. Yeah, let's just try. Because my other brushes need to be cleaned. Let's see, I want to buff this out so bad. A little bit came off the nose. Let's apply a little bit there. Okay, let's just keep going. Shake this again, and the next other side I'm gonna do is a beauty blender. I have not tried it with that, so maybe it'll do a lot better. All right, so now we're back to one pump on each side. All right, let's hope this goes well. All right, okay. So I want to say hands down, this thing does not do good with a brush. Yeah, unless you don't mind that it looks like you have foundation look on your face. I don't. I feel like it was also a little bit harder to blend this out as well when it came to the brush. It just seemed like it just wanted to cling to certain places, and if you even try buffing it out, it was starting to come off. And I know some people probably like, oh, well, use the matte, a matte primer. No, the foundation is already matte. I need a moisturizer underneath my skin, period. The aloe vera is an oil-free moisturizer. I use this with the oil because I know some people will probably want to use the oil prior to putting down, possibly putting down a matte foundation. That might be an option that they want to go with so their foundation doesn't feel so matte. And it also blends, but it didn't do well with that either. That was definitely causing it to come off. But with this one, I feel like this looks so much better. It doesn't look like it's sitting over the skin when using the sponge. Versus this side definitely has that, I can see it sitting over my skin activity. I'm the kind of person, I don't like my foundation to look unnatural. So this will definitely, that's probably another reason why I tend to use a lot more dewy foundations than I do matte foundations. Yeah, but I'll say this side is definitely a no-go for me. Definitely more so this side. And it does feel lightweight. Wow, it does. Like, I don't really notice it. No, I don't. Anyway, I don't know if it's claimed. I gotta pull this thing up now. Ugh. If the claims is lightweight, but man, this does, like, it's light. It's light. The cover is on point. For concealer, I'm gonna go with this shade here. This is medium deep in. Oh, and it seems quite deep now that I'm putting it next to this foundation. This is medium deep from Flower Beauty. I'm just gonna do a little bit, but I'm going to mix it in because you can tell like it looks too orange for this foundation. All right, this definitely feels like it's drying in. So I need to try to make this quick. Yeah, let's blend that in. And that was a pretty moist feeling concealer. So yeah, I think just trying to blend it over this, you definitely need something moist to blend this over this foundation with. Yeah, I won't recommend. Yeah, wow, this is different. I'm so not used to using matte foundation anymore. I'm also going to be testing this eyebrow pencil for Catrice. And then I'm going to be using this palette here to set the brows. And I do note that this pencil does seem a little bit on the red side, but it's all good because the powder that I use kind of like offsets it, so I don't worry about it so much. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use this palette here just to do like my all over face. All right, and this is the Be a Light in the Medium Deep Face Palette. All right, so this is numbered. This is number 1. This is the brightening powder to use all over the face to brighten and boost radiance. This one on the top here, this is the blush to use on the cheekbones to add a pop of color and light. This one is the contour. It says use to sculpt and define features. And then this last shade right here. Okay, and this is the blur powder, and it says to use all over the face to blur imperfections and even the complexion. So I'm guessing like when you're starting to see like the marks of demarcation, then you want to go ahead and use that one to blend. Anyway, I thought that this was a pretty good color selection for somebody near my skin tone, but I'm not sure how they got deep out of this because I couldn't imagine anyone deeper than my complexion using this. If you're lighter, a little bit lighter than me, definitely I could see that. They do have a light to medium version as well, but I couldn't see somebody deep using this past my complexion. So that would mean that I'm deep. So anyway, these companies and the way they market stuff, I would hope they tested it out on somebody to make sure, right? Right? All right, I want to use, this is crazy. This is what happens when you don't clean out all your brushes. All right, so I'm gonna go in with this brush here. This is the Dew Care brush. I'm gonna go in with this light color. And it does look quite pinky, but I think that's what makes it have the brightening effect. I don't know if y'all see the difference. And it does have a little bit of sheen to it. So that might not be a bad thing for those of you who want to wear the matte foundation, but you still want to bring some life into your makeup. But it does have a little bit of something in it. Not glitter, but I do see some specks, some little itsy teeny weeny little specks. Well, let's try patting it first before we go blending it out. I don't know, this is so matte. I don't know if this is the right, you know what, I think I'm gonna have to test this out again. I don't know if this is necessarily the right product if I'm putting this on top of the right foundation. Yeah, I don't know about that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking this might not be the right foundation for something like this. Let's switch over. I'm gonna switch over to the Flawless Face Brush from e.l.f. All right, and let's test out this contour shade here. I'm just concerned that it doesn't have anything that it's gonna cling to, but I could be wrong. And it does smell sweet. It's like a very soft floral type smell. It's very soft. I don't even know if floral is the correct smell, but it does have like a soft, like, hey, you just bought some high-end makeup type deal. All right, and for the eyes, let's go ahead and try using the same powder. Let's move on to the blush. I don't know, this color, I will say it's very wine-like. So I don't know if I'm really a fan of that, but I could be with the right eyeshadow. So I guess it's good to kind of see this side with without the contour, this side with the contour. I'm gonna have to test this out again with more of a dewy foundation. Yeah, I'm not feeling the powder on top of dry look. I'm just not, it's just too much. Maybe after I spray it down, I don't know. But right now I'm not feeling it. No. All right, and then let's take a little bit of this right here. Why not? We here. Or you can put it on the lid. All right, I think that's it. Oh, and then let's, to be technically correct, take the last shade. And this is the Blur Perfection, right? Yeah, no, I'm not, It's, ooh, it looks so dry. Let's take some of that right there. Yeah, no, it looks too dry. Yeah, and I wouldn't want to use that up. I would rather use a color like this up in my forehead area. Let's just go ahead and spray it down because right now it's looking so dry. Anyway, right now I feel like my face is looking so dry, and it's so funny because it's not like I haven't worn matte foundations before. It's just, it does feel kind of foreign. Like, yeah. Well, that looks better, but yeah, I'm not, no. But just go ahead and keep it real. I'm not feeling this foundation on my skin. I don't like this look. I think it depends on you and who you are. But I personally, yeah, no. I felt like it was hard to like blend the concealer into this. Yeah. Let's just finish the look. How about that? And then I'm gonna give you my thoughts. I'm going to be using this here from Wet n Wild. This is their Bronze Over the Rainbow. Just to add a little something. You don't have to, but you know. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's just, I'm done. It's a wrap on this. All right, so the lip liner was Brandy from Wet n Wild, and this lipstick here is Chai from Bite Beauty. And this is Peachy Nude from Flower Beauty. Mascara, Lash Paradise. All right, so my final thoughts on this here. First off, I want to say this, hands down, this is literally the perfect match for my skin. Yeah, I can actually say that. Regardless of everything else that I'm not very crazy about this foundation, it is actually a perfect match. And I actually do want to see maybe if I can mix it some with maybe a moisturizer or something like that where I can turn it more into a BB cream. I don't know. I want to play around with it before I decide, and I'm going to cross this off my list and go ahead and return it. Yeah, I'm just going to be honest. I feel like it sits over the skin a little bit too much for my personal preference. The one thing I do want to read what it does state about this foundation. So let's go to Ulta.com. All right, it says it's a lightweight foundation. I would definitely say that is true. I can barely tell that it's on my face. It's waterproof, I have no idea. And pigmented, AF, whatever. It's pigmented, but you can literally see like the pigments separating. And I'm not really a fan of that. I know it does say on the bottle to shake it well, but this formula and this thing is so thick. It's not like shaking up a dewy foundation. You get what I'm saying? It needs to like have something in there where maybe you're able to stare it or something. It's like, this thing is super thick. I don't imagine you shaking it is really gonna do much. It says the NYX Professional Makeup Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation hustles as hard as you do. This comfy liquid formula comes in 45 flattering tones that don't transfer. Every creamy shade glides on. I don't know about all that. I don't know about no gliding on. Delivering matte coverage and color that stays true to the 24 hours. Now, one thing I will say is after putting it on, I don't feel like it has changed colors on me. It still looks like my color. Like literally, it looks like me. Like from chest to neck to this, it looks like my skin tone. I will say that. That's the only reason like I'm willing to like see if I can mix it and turn it more into more of a BB cream type foundation versus something else. But I tried a couple of different things in this video, which was putting oil down to maybe see if that would really help it. But even after stapling it, it started to come off when I attempted to buff it. And even trying to staple it back onto those other areas, it just seemed like it was doing a little bit too much. So I wiped that off, started over. Yeah, using the cream. I just feel like brush is not the best friend for this thing. A brush is not the way to go with this foundation. A beauty blender, some kind of sponge to use. By the way, this is the Eco Tools beauty sponge. Yeah, I just felt like this did so much better in helping it spread and making the pigment not look separated and clingy. It actually made it, and not making it look like it was sitting on top of my skin. So I do have to say, this is your best bet. So if you are a matte foundation person, you don't mind it sitting on top of your skin. Let me not say sit on your top of your skin. If you don't mind that matte look, I just don't. It doesn't look healthy. This side looks like I literally have makeup on my face. This one looks like more so I have blush and highlight on my face. So I can live with that. I just can't. And then as far as creasing goes, I mean, if you have smile lines, it is going to crease. There's no hiding that. So I'm not too mad with it. It's not like it's liquid and it's going to be sitting in there. So what else it says is this little overachiever also works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day long, but it doesn't stop there. This foundation is a why can I never say this word? Comedogenic, which is, I probably said it wrong, but basically it doesn't clog your pores, and suitable for normal, oily, combination, sensitive skin types. And I do have sensitive skin, and I'm also combination as well. I can get oily in my T-zone. I can definitely get dry in the winter. So yeah, there you go. It says prep your face for 24 hours with Slay with an NYX Professional Makeup Can't Stop Won't Stop Matte Primer, sold separately. Now, one thing I did do yesterday, which was I was looking at some other videos, and I think I got to the primer part. I don't know, maybe yesterday I wasn't really in the mood to be watching YouTube videos besides having to get work done. But one of the things that I kept seeing where people had an issue with the primer, and I guess trying to get the foundation to stick to the primer. Honestly, this foundation, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if you're using a brush, I highly don't recommend it. All right, first off, I want to say I still like how this side looks better. Maybe because the sponge may have taken off some of the product, and of course it may have also because it had water in it, it may have also helped it to just blend the pigment in a little bit more instead of the pigment settling. Because what's interesting is on this side, even though I do have a smile line, I notice way more of a crack in this one than I do in this one. I don't know, everything just looks different. Like even my pores look more pronounced here than it does over here. But of course you can always use a pore filler to like counteract that issue. But that's the beauty about using stuff like cream products. That's why I like cream foundations, because literally if I wanted to hide something, I could with that. It's like 6 something right now. I think it's like 6:30 and I finished around 1. It was probably around 1:30 maybe. So yeah. And the checking on the blush, it does, I don't know, maybe it still looks like I have blush on. But in the mirror, I don't know, like I don't really see it. Maybe on this side I do, just a little bit, a hint, but not really there, but I still do see it on my eyes. Like I said, I think it had a lot to do with this foundation in particular, because it's so dry. I mean, now it isn't, but before, like that was really dry. Like the concealer didn't even want to even blend into it. Overall, I mean, I want to say it looks about normal as far as what I would see with oil developing in these areas right here, my little T-zone area. Honestly, that's why I like wearing dewy foundation, because I feel like this, if it starts off looking dewy, then by the end of the day, it's not going to look so obvious that I had like oil, you know, accumulating. So, you know, like having other dry areas and then it's looking like super moist in the middle. But it's not bad. It looks good. To me, it looks good. It's not bad. You will have to use some kind of pore filler or something, because if you have pores, you will literally be able to see like every single little texture. So that part I'm not a fan of. It's not bad. Would I recommend it? For the color, yes. For the dryness, I would personally say no, because I didn't like how it didn't sink into the skin. So it's gonna be more of a personal choice for you. Did have a little something come off, but you know, my face is moist now. It's not dry anymore, so it is what it is. I just want to say thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so more people like you on YouTube can find my channel here. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.